Next up is Linda Diaz, also known as Countess Vertigo. She is a frustrated hearing loss advocate that has gone to great lengths to help others understand the challenge and the power of hearing loss. She is a cautionary tale as well as an advocate, showing that hearing loss isn't what people think it is. Let's give a big hand for Countess Vertigo.
Hello, my darlings. I would have tried to memorize it, but it would have taken me a year, so I decided to write it down. How do we make this smaller? Ladies and gentlemen, I am Countess Vertigo. And I and the beautiful lady Andrea, who is completely responsible for my makeup, and thank God, my cleavage, which I've never had in my whole life. Thank you. Andrea and I just went to Peru. I picked up this drum from the Andes Mountains in Machu Picchu, made by the Native Americans. In South America, they call themselves Native Americans because they are American. They are South American. Woohoo! I am too. I'm Peruvian. I'm half Peruvian, and my family lives in Peru. This is an authentic drum made by a native person that lives in the Andes Mountains, a shaman from the top of Machu Picchu. These different symbols, the condor, the puma, and the snake, are all the special symbols and the special spirit animals of the Incas. The condor speaks to the gods. He goes up to the gods, he brings our messages to the gods, he brings our messages back. The condor is like our eagle, but in South America, he is the condor. Very powerful spirit and protection of our prayers. Here we have the El Fuerte Puma. The Puma is a very strong spirit, and he protects all of us people on earth, as well as earth. And when the first Inca rey or king built his grand, beautiful Inca community, he made the Inca community in the shape of a puma. For the puma protects man. The third spirit is the spirit of the snake. Never fear the snake, for the snake goes under the rocks and around the rocks and through the caves and under the caves, and sometimes we need that kind of magic. Because sometimes we can't get over it or around it, we go under it, right? I went to Peru, and I picked up a little man. I will put him in my first in the time cleavage. Thank you, it's never been done. It's a bit hot in here, I need to cool myself. There is a prophecy in Peru which believes that when the condor and the eagle from South America come together and they make a baby, that baby will be peace. And peace shall reign over the earth when the condor and the eagle come together. My fan is magic. Whoa.
That's better than the tiny man.
I brought a little family member with me. We have shrunken his head. We saved the bones of our family. And this is a family member. We keep them forever. Notice he has the traditional Peruvian outfit on. His name is Carlos, or Charlie. He is my friend. And now that I know him better, I no longer fear death, because our bones never die. Andrea, the lady Andrea, and I went down into the bones and the catacombs of the ancient church. Oh, I scare her so much. And we saw 300-year-old bones. And they didn't go away. The flesh, the blood, the hair, everything went away, but never the bones. And here is my little friend, Carlos. When I came home, I went to a hard of hearing dance. It was so lovely, a hard of hearing dance. I am hard of hearing, in case nobody knows that yet. Not only am I hard of hearing, I'm going deaf. And people feel sorry for me for going deaf, but you know what? I feel sorry for you because you're not. One of the things that happened at the hard of hearing dance is, one of the men asked me, he said, "How have you been, Linda?" And I said, "Well, I've been to the doctor, and I have acute angina." And all of a sudden, my dance card was filled up. Everybody wanted to dance with me. I had no idea. Oh, my goodness. We get things wrong when we're hard of hearing, and everybody notices that, and everybody tells us when we do. However, let me tell you something about the hearing. We see you as you see us. We have superpowers. We hear with our eyes. Consider my eyes, ears. I can see your facial expressions, your body expressions. If you like me, I can tell. If you don't like me, you can smile your face up, but if your body's going, I know you hate me. I know it. So I can tell I have superpower in my vision. However, you guys are having a tough time with learning sign language, and that's okay. It's okay. It's not that easy. It's not that hard. But let me show you a little mistake that I want you all to know and never, never make. Let it be known that the people of Cottage Grove do not make this mistake. When Obama came, we were fortunate to sit next to Obama because we were deaf and hard of hearing. So here was the stage, and we were right here. We had an interpreter right here, and we could see Obama's profile. And everyone, hundreds of people out front of Obama were going, "Obama, Obama, Obama." And this confused us in the deaf group. We asked our interpreter, we said, "Why are all the hearing people saying vagina? What's wrong with them? Don't they know this man could be president someday? They're insulting to him." Please, this is a lazy O. This is O. This is vagina. Okay? Okay. Please, 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 if we don't hear you, scream at us, make faces at us, yell at us, shake your arms, contort your face. Said no hard of hearing or deaf person ever, ever. If you want our attention, you must face us. You must tap us on the shoulder. You must pay attention. You must, if we don't get the word, then change the word. Like seen and scheme both look the same when we're lip reading you. If you're saying seen and you really say, and I just say scheme, I'm never going to get it. Just change the word. It'll help so much. And always face us. You can't talk behind our backs. We can't hear you. When I was working at an independent living center, everybody had to come into my office and tell me all the gossip. Everyone came to me and told me everything. But they had to come to me. I couldn't search out gossip because I cannot hear whispers. Hard of hearing people can't hear whispers. You have to get in our face. So please always face us. We can't hear anything behind us. In fact, you can say anything you want behind us. It won't matter. We don't care. Okay. All right. This brings me to some hometown problems we've been having lately. In our hometown, we have some prejudices and some things going on that have really upset me about the way hard of hearing and deaf people are treated. I am an advocate for the hard of hearing and deaf. I am hard of hearing. Without my hearing aid, I am deaf. And I probably won't get a cochlear implant, so someday I will be deaf. And I want as many of you to know how to talk with your hands to me as possible, so I'll always be able to communicate. But we have a problem in this town. And one of the problems is people are complaining about violins and hugs in this town. And I am sick and tired of people complaining about violins and hugs. I love violins. I can't hear them unless I'm standing next to them. And I love hugs. What is wrong with you people? Yes, Alan?
It's violence and drugs.
Oh, my mistake. Violence and drugs. Never mind. The other complaint I have is this thing about the preservation of the species. The preservation of the feces. The preservation of the feces? Who wants to preserve feces? I read on Facebook one day that this woman took her dying dog to the vet, and she had asked the vet to cut off some of the hair so she would have hair from her dog left. And the vet forgot to cut off the hair before they cremated the dog. And so the woman, all she had left was a piece of dog poop that she had in her yard from her dead dog. And so she wrapped it up and put it in her freezer and saved it forever for her dog. I think that's taking the preservation of feces too far. What?
It's the preservation of the species.
Oh. Well, that's okay. Never mind. I'm so embarrassed. Sorry. Never mind. I don't mean to rant and rave. Please, when you speak to us, please face us. Please speak clearly. Do not be in the other room washing the dishes or with a dishwasher on. Face us and do not yell at us. Expect us to know what you're talking about, because we can think, oh, so he said, oh, go lick the toilet. What do you mean, lick the toilet? How dare you? No, that's not what he said, but that's what we think, and we go through that emotion, okay? Don't do that. Please face us. Don't talk behind our backs. It's very, very difficult for us to hear if you speak behind our backs. this is the point I wanted to make. And if you have a beard, please don't lift your beard like this and talk to us like this. It looks like a talking vajayjay, and it's gross. And men do this to the deaf women just to gross us out. Please stop. Stop, men, stop. Don't show your ugly little vajayjay lips through your beards anymore. It's cruel. I've often asked in the groups that I work with, do deaf people use the finger? Well, frankly, they do. In fact, the finger is considered the feeling finger. This is feeling. This is fine. This middle finger is the feeling finger. The deaf people can give you the finger. They are the fastest fingers in the West as well as in the universe. A deaf person can give you a finger 1,000 times and you'll never know it. I've given you the finger 10 times. Has anyone noticed? No, because you can't see it. The hands are faster than the eyes. Yes, deaf people know how to use the finger really, really well. This hat I wear is a symbol of my vertigo. Inside of our ears, we have a cochlea that's curled like this. This is a brain on vertigo, okay? We have lots of curling going on here. And even as I'm up here speaking, things look different to me than they would to you, and that's okay, because I'm firmly planted on the ground, and I have to think about that every time. The other day, I went to a river, and I didn't think about where I was going to stand, and so I fell off the cliff and started rolling down the river, rolling down the river. And you know what? God said, open your eyes and take the hand that's being offered. And there was someone screaming because I was going to die, and they saved me. But I didn't realize when you have vertigo, you have no way. You always have to watch where you plant your feet. I was a little depressed that day, so whoosh, I could have been washed down the river just like that. Whoosh. I was having fun, too. I was singing this song, rolling down the river. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a sign language class in our town, which thankfully support us. Could you all stand up, the sign language class, please? Everybody stand up, the sign language class. God bless all of you. God bless all of you. Woo! If it weren't, no, stay stood up because I need your help. Part of my act is to teach people a sign language word. And everybody stand up who's in my sign language class because we need your help. And so, the word I'm going to teach you today is complicated. Okay? The word you're going to learn is very complicated. Is everybody ready? You take your, no, class? Class, you've done this before. Okay, this is complicated. That is the word complicated. Because you're thinking, and it's not working, and it's complicated. That's your word for complication. Complicated, that's your word for today. Complicated. Okay. It is now time for me to sing. More or less. Is everybody ready? Okay, here we go. Need a sip. Maylocks and nose drops and needles for knitting, walkers and handrails and new dental fillings, hearing aids and glasses and porches on swings. These are a few of my favorite things. Friendships and family and cookies for young ones. No spicy hot food and food cooked with onions. Sunshine and springtime and flowers that bring spring. These are a few of my favorite things. When the pipes leak, when the bones creak, when the knees go bad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so sad. Thank you, darlings, thank you. That was my first. I love you too. I love you. I love you. This is I love you, folks. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Don't do this. I love you. Okay. And now, my darlings, I have a magic trick. I have practiced this magic trick over and over. And here it goes. There's no strings on this, notice? No strings. Nothing's holding this up. This is just me. Here it goes. Thank you. I am Countess Vertigo, and I love you all.